Good afternoon. I'm Michael Eisenson, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and I'm truly delighted to be here with all of you this afternoon to introduce to you Maud Mandel, who will shortly become the 18th president in the 225-year history of Williams College. Apparently, along with all of you, I couldn't be any happier with this assignment or any more excited about the future of our college. Before we introduce our president-elect, however, I have two very important thank yous to offer on behalf of all of us here. First, I want to thank our interim president, Tiku Majumder, Tiku has done a simply fabulous job of keeping the college fully on track and indeed moving actively forward these past several months. When Adam Falk told us last June that he would leave Williams after 8 years as president, one of our first concerns was finding someone who could steward the college through the transition period. After careful deliberation, the board asked Tiku to assume the presidency, and he graciously accepted. Despite having been a deeply engaged and widely acclaimed member of the faculty here for more than 20 years, I believe Tiku will tell you in a candid moment that he had not realized the full scope of what he'd signed up for. Nevertheless, he has addressed the challenges more than ably, as we all knew he would. Tiku has led the college with great intelligence and compassion, and with a deep and abiding affection for the place and for its people. We're all profoundly indebted to him for his critical role in the transition from our 17th president to our 18th. Of course, his job isn't over, so please, in addition to thanking him, please wish him success and smooth seas during his remaining months in office. I also want to thank the Presidential Search Committee, many of whose members are here today. The second essential task on learning of Adam's pending departure was to assemble a committee of people who reflected the many different constituencies that together make up the college, but who also keenly understood that the task was to work as one group, representing the college as a whole, to find the very best president to lead this place into the future. Nor was good judgment and variety of experience and perspective enough. We needed people willing to do the serious work of gathering input from throughout our community, spending countless hours meeting with potential candidates and refining our sense of the guiding priorities, and then narrowing the pool and intensively engaging with a number of prospects whom we felt best reflected those priorities. Most importantly, we needed a committee willing to stay hard at it for as long as it took until we had identified and thoroughly vetted a set of truly exceptional candidates whom we could present to the Board of Trustees. Williams was incredibly well served by the energy, commitment, and skill of the 16 faculty, staff, students, alumni, and trustees who worked together as the search committee, as well as the extraordinary dedication of Kelly Gale, who served as secretary to the committee while continuing with her many other duties. Let me ask that group to stand for a moment so you can please join me in thanking them all for working so hard to place the future of our college in the best possible hands. While the search process was exhaustive and at times exhausting, I have to admit that it was also fun, at least much of the time, and deeply rewarding. It was fun largely because we had a great committee whose members respected one another and enjoyed sharing views and enjoyed working together toward a common purpose. And also because we had the chance to meet a number of remarkably interesting and accomplished candidates along the way. It was rewarding because the search had a wonderful outcome. As I expect you will all come to know in the months and years ahead, Maud Mandel is a truly exceptional person and a worthy next torchbearer in a long line of remarkable college leaders. It's not possible to summarize in the 30 seconds I have remaining the depth of our collective conviction about this choice, gained through 13 hours of interviews with Maud and the 14 references we spoke with over a period of 10 weeks. Instead, I'd like simply to share a comment from Christine Paxson, the president of Brown. I did tell her comments would be confidential, so if you could just keep that. This was her comment in response to my question about what might truly distinguish Maud Mandel as a college president. In President Paxson's words, Maud has, quote, impeccable judgment, and she loves, loves, loves students, faculty, and everything having to do with education. Those 16 words capture pretty nicely the person we were looking for to be the 18th president of Williams College, and they perfectly describe the person to whom Tiku will now introduce you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Michael, for your kind words, for your leadership of the board, as well as of the Presidential Search Committee, and for all the Search Committee members. All of this work will have profound and lasting impact on the college. And thank you to all of you for joining us today. I'm pleased to have the privilege as well of welcoming to Williams Maud S. Mandel, who will soon be our 18th president. Before I do that, I didn't want to forget to invite all of you to an all-campus reception and gathering next door in Presky immediately following President-elect Maud's remarks. Unlike the hard-working members of the search committee, I am, along with you, just getting to know Maud. So I thought it would be helpful to share a few highlights from her career that I believe help us understand why the search committee was so excited about her candidacy and why she's such a terrific choice for our next president. The first is her scholarship. Maud's historical research on the experiences of Jewish, Armenian, and North African communities in modern France is widely read and cited. Furthermore, Maud's particular research focus, which looks at how social policies influence the inclusion or exclusion of religious and ethnic minorities, has a deep resonance with both the world we live in today and with campus communities like our own. As I am learning, it is a challenge for a college president to find a lot of time for scholarly work or teaching, but it is essential for that leader to have a deep love of teaching and an understanding of its central role in our community. At the same time, we desire a leader who celebrates and nurtures the life of the mind, a leader who represents a faculty that bring the excitement of their scholarly work to the classroom, just as they bring their students to the exciting world of their scholarly pursuits. In Maud, I believe we have exactly the leader who will lead us in that work, at a notable time in our history when our faculty is undergoing a great renewal. Indeed, Maud will be joining us not only as the 18th president, but also as a member of the history department and the program in Jewish Studies. She shared with me last night that though perhaps not in her first year, she would love to do some teaching while serving as president, which is wonderful. And Maud is someone who's not only focused on topics of inclusion and representation in her academic work, she's also put them into practice. Now, you can read her full bio on our website, so let me just say that as Brown's Dean of Students, she demonstrated a very concrete commitment to supporting a diverse community, including first-generation students and undergraduates of all backgrounds and interests. As I fully realize, a job such as hers requires partnering with wide-ranging groups of students, staff, and faculty in deep and important ways, something that she has obviously been very committed to and successful at. In these recent weeks, I've run into many faculty colleagues around campus and had a conversation that goes like this. Colleague, have you met Maud Mandel yet? Me, no, not yet, looking forward to it. Have you? colleague. No, but I've been in touch with close professional colleague who works at Brown, and they say, she's awesome. You guys are so lucky. So these are some of the many reasons I think the search committee and the board's choice for our 18th president reflects how well they were attuned to Williams' needs. Having graduated from a distinguished liberal arts college and both taught and played a key administrative role centered on the undergraduate experience at Brown, Maud is, by her resume and disposition, wonderfully well prepared to lead Williams. Our families enjoyed a lovely dinner last night together. Over 23 years at Williams, I've marveled at the passion and skill that Williams' colleagues bring to their work. And at dinner last night, I saw the same spark in Maud. Her genuine warmth, curiosity, and enthusiasm for the challenge ahead were immediately apparent. My family and I also enjoyed meeting Maud's husband, Steve, and their son, Lev, daughter, Ava, last night. They're also here with us today and will be at the reception, and I hope we'll do everything we can to welcome them as well and help the whole family quickly become part of the Williams and Williamstown community. Before I invite Maud up to the podium, I just wanted to note that during my time as interim, I've enjoyed the privilege of working with faculty, students, and staff on important issues of community at Williams. Our remarkable alumni and our committed board of trustees continue to be wonderful partners as well. I want to thank all of the many groups of folks who have made time to contribute to these important conversations. I think the work we've done, which we'll keep doing between now and July, is building a wonderful foundation on which Maud can begin her presidency. And now comes the time, your chance to hear from our next president directly. Maud, welcome to Williams.
It's hard to capture just really how thrilling it is for me to finally have the opportunity to say hello to the Williams community after so many weeks and weeks of wondering and then beginning to think and dream about joining you here today. My family, my husband Steve, and my children Lev and Ava are extraordinarily touched, excited, and really overwhelmed by the warm welcome that we've received via many emails and other forms of outreach, including several packages of purple paraphernalia, all of which, some of which they are decked out in, by the way, just duly noted. All of which has made clear to us the character of the community that we're joining. Its tight-knit nature, its intellectual vigor, and really its whimsical sense of humor, which has really been wonderful. And as you can imagine, it's been really gratifying for us and enticing to discover Williams through the eyes of the people who call it home. And I know I really speak for my family when I say we look forward to many years of discovery of this community with you and through your eyes. Before going a moment further, I really must also add to the chorus of thanks that have been taking place today, and to thank the search committee for finding me, and the board of trustees for their trust in offering me the tremendous honor and privilege of becoming Williams' 18th president. The work that goes into a presidential search is intense, and it is highly charged. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone is nervous about the outcome. But despite the intensity, the members of the search committee and the board somehow managed to keep the atmosphere pleasant, welcoming, and I would echo Michael, even fun. And I'm really so grateful for that. I'm also intensely and immensely grateful to Tiku for steering the college through this intermediary period wisely and with good humor. And before Tiku, Adam Falk, whose commitment to the health and vitality of Williams and its people will enable me to focus on making a great school even better. I know well how much commitment, care, dedication, and time both have put into this institution, And I really want to assure both that I'm committed to carrying this good work going forward. So most of you may not know that I received the call from Michael Eisenson offering me the presidency while I was standing at a gas pump in Providence on a freezing February day. I actually had to climb back into the car just to be warm enough to think about accepting the offer as we engaged in the conversation. So some of life's most pivotal moments, of course, occur in the most banal settings. As this is Williams, I, of course, would have preferred that this had happened as I was charging an electric vehicle at a solar-powered station. That's something we can work on together. But on a metaphorical level, I took the experience as a sign of the energy that will propel the next period in my and my family's life with you. Indeed, few institutions are as vital as Williams. With a notable commitment to liberal arts excellence, this college unites a stellar student body with a faculty that is exceptional, both for its commitment to undergraduate education and its scholarly research profile, as well as an enormously talented administrative and support staff. And I want to pause there for a moment. I had the opportunity to have lunch today with a handful of students. I'm looking forward to getting to know many, many, many more in the weeks and months ahead. But I was struck when I asked them what they will miss most. A number of them were seniors. What they will miss most about this experience. How many of them spoke about the faculty and the intense connections and relationships they had built with faculty over their time here. I thought that was tremendous, a tremendous testament to the institution and to the hard work of many of the people in this room, and I found it quite moving. This combination of students and faculty and administrative and support staff by itself would make Williams an extraordinary institution. But remarkably and laudably, the college strives for something more. Guided by a notable commitment to diversity and access, the college has used its resources to open up its educational community, seeking to bring in the very most talented students to campus, no matter what their background, place of origin, and to help them succeed once they're here and beyond. And this diverse and talented community makes its marks in so many domains. So much of the experience of getting to know Williams over the last few weeks has been an experience of eye-popping wow, as I learned more and more about the ways in which this institution excels, from athletics to the arts, from the interdisciplinary strengths to the passionate commitment of its alumni, and of course, its partnerships and investments in the local community and region. As many of you may know, I began my own educational journey at a small liberal arts institution in northern Ohio, Oberlin College. And I credit that institution with making me a curious person, with forcing me to challenge my assumptions and to ground all of my opinions in evidence. And over the course of the last 20 years at Brown, I have committed myself to instilling in our students that same appreciation for the power of inquiry and evidence, and providing them with as many opportunities as possible to question, to investigate, to test their own hypotheses, and most importantly, to explore. Schools like Oberlin and Brown and Williams have long provided undergraduates with opportunities to develop conceptual and analytic frameworks that will serve them well, no matter what they do after graduation. In the moment in which we live, these skills have become even more important. In the face of competing truths and an overabundance of input, it is and has been, I think, tempting to retreat into politicized corners, to talk only to those with whom we agree, and to narrow the influx of information. We simply cannot afford to allow that to happen. Schools like Williams must equip students to sift through information, analyze data, form ideas and opinions, and develop the communication skills and moral courage to engage thoughtfully across many kinds of human difference. Students, some of you here in the room who I see, You are privileged to spend 4 years on the Williams campus, where you will hone the habits of mind that will equip you to confront these complex problems of our times. And you're doing so in an environment that is 100% committed to cultivating your intellectual, civic, and social engagement. By inspiring your curiosity and lifelong commitment to learning in a diverse community that seeks to elevate all of its members, this institution can model the very best of American higher education. Williams is an institution that celebrates learning both for its own sake and for a greater purpose, and which revels in both endeavors. My choice of the word revel is no accident. I hear a few of you laughing. In my final interview with the Board of Trustees, Michael Eisenson noted that Williams was, in fact, looking for a president who reveled in the job. Was I that someone, he asked. I had to pause for a moment, actually, on that question, because I thought of many college presidents I know who would not say that they revel in their jobs, on most days. Having said that, and as I hope you will see, I am, I think, that person. I experience tremendous joy living and working in a learning community. And Williams really seems to me to be that community par excellence. I cannot wait to begin that journey together. I'm not going to be permanently on campus until July, but I do plan to return periodically over the next over the next several weeks. And I anticipate those visits will bring many more opportunities to learn about Williams from all of you, those of you who've chosen to study here, who've committed your professional and personal lives to this community, or who were shaped by Williams and represent the college to the world. I look forward to beginning those conversations and to engaging in them for many, many years, but to begin them today during the reception. Thank you so much from myself and from my family. We are incredibly excited and moved to join this community. Thank you.